Juliet plunges Romeo's dagger into her heart.
What if Juliet didn't die?
I mean, really, that should almost be the start of the play.
Hey, Oliver Tompsett.
Hey, Stark. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Fantastic. Yeah, loud and clear. Hello.
Good to see you.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
And I believe we're recording. So for any of you who are watching this special pre-record, this is being brought together by WhatsOnStage in London and Theatre Mania in New York to have two actors who are both playing the same roles, one on Broadway, one on West End, to have a very frank conversation and ask each other three burning questions, I believe. Although we may have more questions. I know I've got more questions. So let's shoot. Shall I go first?
Yeah, go first.
Yeah. First, how are you, though? How are you? I feel like it's weird if I just ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great. We are 1 month into our run, and I love this job.
Well, I can imagine. It's very addictive, the show about Juliet, especially the role of Shakespeare. It's a lot of fun. And we've got other things in common, though, haven't we? Because you obviously originated Charlie in Kinky Boots, and I played that. It was my job just before I got this, actually. In fact, if Kinky Boots in London hadn't have closed a little earlier than it was meant to, I wouldn't have been able to do this job.
Amazing.
So they were auditioning for and Juliet for Shakespeare and obviously the other roles, and it wasn't really on my radar. I didn't know much about it, and we suddenly, after my first week of Kinky Boots, they came in. They were like, "We're closing," and I was like, "You're kidding me?" They're like, "Good news, 7 months though." I was like, "Perfect." So we got like a 7-month notice, and then from there, so it was quite early on to my Kinky Boots journey that I auditioned for Shakespeare.
Wow.
And had that sort of lined up with a little couple of months break, so it was perfect. But but you were obviously the Charlie Price.
I remember when the Shakespeare job became mine, and I knew that you were the guy because that's what I went to whenever I was learning what I needed to learn. I found your clips and things, and I knew that you had played Charlie, and it felt like such a wonderful full circle moment when I got it, because I knew that I was now in the position of stepping into a role that had been created by someone else, and it wasn't just some random person. It was somebody who I shared something with, and I really thought that was wonderful.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, that leads me on to my first question then. My first question is, so you got to pick.
Okay.
Everybody say yeah, yeah, or everybody, yeah.
Oh.
Two very good numbers.
Oh, that's really hard. That's so hard, but what a great first hard-hitting question. I think I have to go with everybody.
Yeah.
Because right now that's what I'm doing. And not to give anything away for people who haven't seen the show, but that moment is an incredibly satisfying moment for the audience and the people on stage. Mm-hmm. And there's really nothing like it. I think of this show and that moment in particular as a pop star simulation. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you're singing a song that they already love and know the words to. You are dancing the dance moves. You get to finish in a way that generates an incredible response. And they're doing it at you on a real stage with real production value in a theater with 1,000 people in it. And so it's not pretend. It's really happening.
Yeah. If only we could get the little travelator things into everybody as well, because you've got to admit they're a lot of fun, right?
Yeah. It's really fun.
We'll get them in. We'll speak to Luke. See if we can get them in.
So my first question, I have a preface for this question, which sets it up, and here it is. I am in this privileged position of playing this role in this production of this show on Broadway because of the hard work that you and your castmates have put into this show. not just your castmates, everyone there at the Shaftesbury, everyone who helped build this in Manchester, in those workshops. We are, the Broadway company, are standing on the foundation that you built. And so I just want to express my gratitude to you for allowing me to step onto this thing. So thank you.
Oh, bless you. That is very,
and
very,
I really
very
mean
kind. That's very kind.
It is not lost on me, that we are where we are because of the hard work of you and everybody else along the way. So, speaking of along the way, I would love to know how your journey began with this. You alluded to it earlier. For me, I started this process in May of this year, so it's very fresh. But I know for you, it was a lot earlier than that, a lot longer ago.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly put myself down on self-tape. Was told by Luke straight away. He said, "Great, love it. You're coming in on." That was on the Monday. He said on the Friday you're going into the finals. Because I think
what year was this?
Is it 2018 or 2019? I don't know. The pandemic has done a lot to my mind and the calendar. Yeah, I remember Luke saying, "Yeah, bring it in. Just make it a bit more London." And I almost didn't go because I had like a stomach bug, and I didn't know much about the show. They were very secretive about it. They hadn't really let everyone, the public, know, or anyone really know what the show was. But luckily I got to see some of the scripts and I was like, this is witty, this is funny, this is not just your normal pop show. It's been written very cleverly, and I just saw something special in it. It just felt right every step along the way, from being cast in it, from going into the workshops and working with David West Reed and him sort of writing it around this very British sort of Blackadder-esque bit Brent of The Office sort of comedy. It's just everything he wrote just sat so well with me because he was very present in the room with us for a lot of the roles and stuff. So it's just always been a joy. There are laughs after laughs after laughs. I mean, we did it for the first performance in Manchester, and because we've just been doing it to an empty rehearsal room. I mean, Max had brought, Harry Styles in to watch a casual run through. And we were just like, yeah, of course, Harry Styles is here to watch a casual run through. But but we'd never had an audience, people were laughing. So we were like, we have no idea. First preview, just bang, gag after gag after gag, laughter. Just the response was amazing. We were all chanting at the end of Act 1, we're not. Because we just had no idea. And from that moment on, it just exploded. Right, let's move on, because I know we're creeping over our 15-minute time.
It's okay.
All right, which of Shakespeare's other plays do you think would be good to turn into another jukebox show? In a Theory and Juliet the second.
Okay.
So like David West Reed gets to rewrite one of Shakespeare's other pieces, and we put the other 1,000 #1 hits that Max Martin's got, and we make a show. I
have set myself a task of reading all of the plays while I'm doing this run. And I'm about a quarter or a third of the way through. I'm starting with the easy stuff. Now, I've read a lot of them because of just, being an actor and doing these shows.
Just to stop you there, I did think about that, and I think I resorted to Shakespeare for Dummies and then left it there.
I just finished Much Ado About Nothing, and it's so good. And I think there's a lot of Beatrice and Benedict in Shakespeare and Anne. The banter, the bickering, really, it's very palpable. And so that's my answer. I think that if there was a way to rework, somehow make a sequel out of Much Ado, and throw some conflict into it and make it, because that one does have a happy ending. I think it'd be just fun to revisit those characters.
I like that. And Shakespeare and Anne both play.
Yes.
Hey, I like what you're doing there. Securing your future as well. My man.
We should rewrite all your plays.
All right. This is one that I know you must have multiple answers to, but I want to know about the funniest onstage mishap during your time in this show. And I've got one that I can tell you about in order to give you time to think, if you need time to think.
Yeah, go on. Tell me yours.
You'll love this. Okay, for context, for anybody who hasn't seen the show, There's a character named May, and May is introduced towards the beginning of the show. And what happens right before that is the nurse and Juliet are having a conversation, and Juliet says, I still believe there's something hanging in the stars for me.
I still believe there's something hanging in the stars for me.
And you hear May's voice say, Juliet, and the nurse says, Holy St. Francis, who could that be? And Juliet says, I know who this is, and they run off stage. Shakespeare and Anne walk on, and Shakespeare says, do I know who this is? So last week, we had 7 people out on the same moment. It was like the first day, all of a sudden people are out, and 7 of them. One of them was May. One of them was May's first cover. So May's second cover had to go on with no rehearsal, with no experience playing the role on a stage anywhere.
Whoa.
And it was a 2-show day, so there was no time to really throw it in. So we get to that moment, and Juliet says, I still believe there's something hanging in the stars for me. And there's silence. Because May has not missed the cue. So I'm off stage, you and me, we're off stage right. Anne is off stage left. I'm looking at Anne going, what do we do? What do we do? Because it's silence. And our friend Mel LeBerry, who plays the nurse, starts ad-libbing. So, and for those who don't know, Mel was Oliver's original nurse in the West End and Manchester. And she's our nurse as well. She's the one person who's carried the torch over. And she's hysterical. So Juliet says, I still believe there's something hanging in the stars for me. Silence. And so Mel goes, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about no stars, but what I do know, and she just starts just stringing something together. And I started dying because God bless her. And then May jumps ahead later in the script and just runs on stage and goes, hey, which is skipping over half a page. And so then I have to run out with Anne, and then I just jumped to my line, which ended up working, which was, do I know who this is? And then
Yeah.
so that's one that happened last week that I thought you'd appreciate.
Oh my goodness. I think there's been a lot. I mean, we've been doing the show a long time, and as you all know, the show, it kind of operates different to any other piece of theatre I've had the privilege of working on. It doesn't feel as functional. It's like a dysfunctional younger brother. He's just a little bit naughty. So there's always things going on. I mean, it's part of his charm, but there's always something happening that just is just like keeping you on your toes. But I mean, I did once try in the opening monologue when Shakespeare is basically setting up the premise of the whole show, and I walked around the stage staring at the prologue, going, "Oh yeah, can't quite read my own writing." oh yeah. So there's that. So Juliet did something about a sleeping potion. I'm looking at everyone. Nobody is helping me. And it was on a day when they were recording it for the archive.
No.
So they've got this recording, a video of me. People were literally looking at me going, "Oh my God, he's had a stroke." Because I've now reached the point, and I don't know what it's like with your cast, but most of our ensemble are made up of like 19, 20-year-olds. It's like, I am the old man of the show.
Yes.
So people were genuinely worried for me. But I fell flat on my bum in Can't Stop the Feeling, trying to look like Justin Timberlake, and failed miserably. I stepped on a piece of paper that someone had obviously ripped up and thrown on the floor that obviously wasn't a good idea for us to dance on it afterwards, but I hit the floor so hard because I mean I'm 6'4". When I go down, I go down, and I was lying on my arm like this, going get that trying to sing into the microphone. So yeah, we've had our moments, and I know you've got more to come.
It's my life, it's now or never. And I ain't gonna last forever. I'm just gonna live while I'm alive.
But one of my questions actually was, who's your favourite cast member, and why is it Mel LeBerry?
Yes, Mel LeBerry.
You know what I mean? What an energy and so much heart. I love that woman so much.
When she opens her mouth to speak, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter where you are or what she's saying, but she's profound. She's profoundly intelligent and inspirational. And she gathers us in these moments, and you don't see it coming, and all of a sudden we're having like this hallelujah, kumbaya moment with Mama Mel. And she's leading us and inspiring us on how to do this, and that we are strong and we are courageous. And I love her so much, and I know she loves you so much. Yeah. She was very excited about it.
She's relayed every step of the way and been so just so buzzing and generous, and positive and has just had the best time. And I'm so glad that that she's moved on with the show and still has the love for it and has found new relationships, new friendships that are on an equal level, that she's just having the best time. So thank you for looking after her. Oh, good. This has been great. Have you got, what time is it there?
It is 1:40. I have the rest of my afternoon, and I have, this leads me to one last question, actually. I have 2 kids. You have 2 kids.
Yep.
Right? Mine are 4 and 7. How old are yours?
Mine are 5 and 9.
Okay. So
Yeah, very close.
how do you, any tips that you've got on how to find the balance? Because this job is not very conducive to
No. And
time
it's-
with family.
And the thing I've learned is it does definitely get harder the older they get, because they start, their schooling hours are much longer and you're heading into your show when they finish. I think I've found that, to be fair, as soon as I realized that a lot of my friends who had kids of the same age who were working 9-to-5 jobs were getting home for 7 o'clock to give them dinner and bath and in bed anyway, I didn't feel like I was missing out on as much time as I thought I was.
Yeah.
I think when they get older, to be teenagers, that will be harder, but who knows where we'll be by then.
I know.
But I try and make the most of, I get up and do the school run. I'm there for, I try and pick them up and have those conversations in the car and get home. I know my little girl, my youngest, is always like very sweetly grabbing hold of me and saying, don't go to work, don't go to work. My son, not so much. You just take time, and Sundays are very precious. It's tiring, right? It is really hard juggling that life, but I think they come to see me and do the show. Have they been to see you in the show yet?
Twice. They're coming a 3rd time next week.
And they love it, right?
Oh my God, it's the best. Well, there are so many parallels between you and me, and just the way you're talking about the show, your relationships you found in the show, being the old guy in the show, finding inspiration from these young kids and everything else. It's really nice to talk to you finally.
It's been amazing.
I hope
so
that
pleased.
we can get together when I'm out in London. My wife is English, and so I'm out there
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
And
great.
Love to meet up with you and have a
Yes.
coffee time.
Definitely. That would be amazing.
But this has been great. Well, for everybody that's watching, thank you. And you still have chances to see these shows. If you're in London or in England and you can get yourself to the West End, and Juliet at the Shaftesbury is running until March 25th. Is that right?
That's right.
That's amazing. So there's plenty of time left. And man, I'm so grateful to you guys for everything you've done. And Juliet on Broadway is an open-ended run. We're only 1 month into it, and it's going pretty well. So come and see us.
Stage, the house is now open. Please do not cross the stage. Thank you.
Perfect timing.
I haven't even had my dinner.
Oh no. Well, thank you for spending it with me.
All right, it's a pleasure.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, Stark. See ya.
Thanks, Oliver. Good to see you, man.